We're back in Palmanova and we're going to have a slightly different walk today. Instead of going straight down to the front on the promenade and along the beach, we're actually going to walk around Palmanova to have a look at some different places. One or two people have asked me to concentrate on some different areas, so we'll have a look at that on the way. But here we are outside the Palmanova Cafe, which used to be called Amadippersment, and just next to that we've got the health centre, and we're going to head off in this direction up towards the Mimosa Hotel. So normally we would actually walk in this direction to the roundabout where the monument is to the Guardia Civil officers who died in the bombing a number of years ago, and walk down to the sea. But we're going to walk up this way, and we're going to walk along the walkway. This walkway caused a little bit of controversy when it was originally built, because the government at the time spent a lot of money building this walkway, and people thought they could have spent the money in a better way. But we're reaping the benefit of it now. It is a really pleasant walkway. It's safe, it's a little bit separate from the road, and as you'll see as we walk along, it's really matured and become a pleasant space to be in and to walk along. In different parts they've got little park areas. You see here we've got some seating areas, even some games you can play as you're walking along. So we are at the back of Parmanova, and we're coming up to the Palmanova Hotel, which is a hotel on the left there. I don't think any of the hotels in Palmanova are open at the moment. People have been asking me if there are hotels here in Mallorca open, and yes, there are. Certainly we've been past hotels that are open. The Nixie Palace is open. There's a hotel in Portugal's now open. On the right hand side we've got the fields and the mountains. Very misty today. We've had some unusual weather. It's been very warm, in some parts up to 24-25 degrees Celsius. Rather strange for January, February. But that's caused a bit of a sea mist over the last few days. We've had some fog and the mist hasn't yet cleared. It's only just after 10 o'clock in the morning, but the sun is starting to peep through. So that's the Palmanova Hotel, and the sister hotel to it is the Palmanova Palace next door. And just in between we have the church. Nita used to bring the children here, the choir, to sing at the church there, usually at Christmas time.
And we used to have day entertainer rehearsals there.
Oh yes, they have a little room where the rehearsals took place, but that's quite a long time ago. There's the Palmanova Hotel. We'll carry on walking up the hill, enjoying the countryside on one side, the hotels on the other. Some of these are adult exercise machines, so as you walk up we've got the places where you can sit, just have a little rest, and in some of them there are adult exercise machines as well. Bars here have been told to close, but they are allowed to do takeaways. So something strange has happened, is that people have a takeaway and then stand outside. So it's not really worked. There are not many bad things in Mallorca in terms of animals, but here we do have Precessionary Caterpillars, and they They start to form in the pine trees, and then around about February they start to leave their nests and they will come down into the pine tree and then onto the ground. And it's the hairs from them that are particularly dangerous, and it's the only real thing I really don't like about Mallorca. It is the Precessionary Caterpillars. So this is what they look like, and there's one just coming out there. So the pine trees here have all seemed to have the nests in for these processionaries, and we've seen one or two on the ground. We haven't seen very many yet, and they look pretty harmless, but if you get the hairs on your skin it can cause a nasty rash, and can be quite dangerous to some people who have allergies to that sort of thing. So if you come across these processionaries, you need to stay well clear. We're now up to the number 7 and the roundabout. We're just going to go around the roundabout and then we're going to go back down this way towards the, well, actually it's towards Magaluf, but we're going to go around into Parmanova. So we're just going around the roundabout now and we're going down into Magaluf, and then we'll turn back down into Palmanova. It's interesting about the spelling of Magaluf. The Spanish way of spelling it is with double L, but the Mallorquin way is with one L. So different ways of spelling it. The walkway carries on up here. It's a little bit steeper here. Goes off towards El Toro and to Santa Ponza. It's a great place to walk. But we're not going to go that way. At least not today. We're not. We're going to come back round and go down towards Magaluf and Palmanova. When we first arrived on the island, this was the Hotel 33, supposedly for people under the age of 33. It was one of the 18 to 30 hotels, so it was all full of young people who were having riotous parties before the days of selfies and mobile phones taking photographs. I think if we had those cameras in those days, there would be some very interesting stories to tell. Anyway, they changed the name and it became the Mimosa, and started to cater for families, and in particular older people in the winter time used to come here when Mallorca was an all year round destination. Sadly, Mallorca in recent years has not been an all year round destination, and these hotels close in the winter time. So it's part of the Globales group, and yes, it's still called the Mimosa, and we used to come here regularly, enjoy ourselves. And just down here was the swimming pool area, which used to have those riotous parties that I was talking about. Still looks good, but no one using the place at the moment. So we're looking actually towards Palmanova, and we're just going to walk down this road a little way, and then we're going to turn down into Palmanova. Just next to the Mimosa is the shopping centre here, which has got the Eroski supermarket, and there's one or two other shops here. And the road that goes down there into Palmanova. So someone was asking me about going to the Santa Lucia. You'd probably just walk down there, and I guess it's a 10-15 minute walk to the Santa Lucia. We're actually going to go straight on, go a little bit closer to Magaluf, and then turn down into Palmanova. the winter time is a good opportunity for the local council to do all the road works and big jobs that they don't want to do when the tourists are here. So here we can see one of those big jobs. They're digging up the roads, and all of this will be done before tourists arrive. At the moment we still don't know when that's going to be. Originally they wanted the tourists to arrive at Easter time. That seems very unlikely at the moment, the way the pandemic is, but it's looking a little bit more promising now. The vaccinations are running out in much of Europe now, and things might happen by the summer. So that's the hope, that we get some visitors here for the summer. Here's the Zafiro. Someone else asked me about the Zafiro Hotel. Looks good, but it's all shut up at the moment. We're just going to walk around the corner here. On the opposite side of the road we have residential housing, some quite nice houses to my right here, and this road runs down into Magaluf. Another holiday complex, possibly part of the Zafiro complex, I'm not sure. This is a new area to me. Well, not a new area, but new apartments. I don't know how long they've been here. It's not something we've actually noticed to walk past before. When we first came to Mallorca, one of the things that we noticed everywhere was building work, and you could tell there was building work because there was a crane, and even in 35 years that hasn't changed. There is still lots of building work going on, and some amazing structures, amazing buildings. That looks like a private house that's been built there. It's going to have magnificent views over Parmanova. This is where we're going to be turning to the left. The road to the right carries on into Magaluf. This building on the left here is an interesting building. Served a number of purposes in the past, but it used to be the base for the Guardia Civil, who are the police here. We'll just actually walk through here. So this is where the Guardia Civil were based up until a few years ago, when two young officers came out. I guess they walked along here, and they will have crossed the road around here, and then they walked down to their car, which was parked in the road here. And just on this spot, as they got into the car, the bomb exploded and they were both killed. So we have now a plaque for us to remember that. 30th of July 2009. Very close to our wedding anniversary. Our wedding anniversary is just before that, and on that particular day I took Anita out to a restaurant. It was in the afternoon, it was lunch we were having, and we were having our anniversary lunch in the restaurant when I had a call from a friend who told me that this bomb had exploded, and at that time we didn't know what the consequences were. So it's really very sad that these men lost their lives, but nice to know that it's still remembered. So it's now changed its use. It's no longer the Guardia Civil. They moved then to another place, and in another video I have a story to tell you there about this place. But as we move around, we've got this this complex which has the Correos, which is the post office, but it is also a centre for the Palmanova, for the Ayuntamiento, which is the council offices. There's a theatre in there, and then there are some offices to do with employment. And it used to be where we had to go to our for medicals and for blood tests. It's no longer there. We don't go there anymore. We go to the place which we started at the beginning of the video when we were in the car park. So in front of us we've got two hotels which were like sister hotels at the time. They were called the Los Merlos and the Los Tordos. I'm not sure whether they still have the same names. They were actually taken over by a Hollywood company, or promoted. Not sure if that is still true either. But two very big hotels that our family used to come to, and so when we first came to the island, it was the hotels that we used to visit quite regularly. Seem to have lost their names off the front now. So we're again walking towards Magaluf. We're not going to enter Magaluf. We're just going to walk another 100-200 meters up here, and then we're going to turn left and go back through Parmanova to places which I'm sure you will begin to recognize. We're just coming up to the Hotel Summatius, and here's some of the places that some of you might recognize that are across the road from the Summatius. We're going to turn left by the Summatius and go down to the beach and then walk down into Palmanova. I said earlier that this is the time of year that the council does a lot of the big work that they can't do when the tourists are here. One of the things they've done this winter is to tarmac the road in this part, so the road is much better here. So there we've got the Summatius. The Chiringuito across the road was open right up until Christmas, I think, and we're now going to walk down and walk by the sea. Some of the bars opening up just for takeaways or for doing some work. Here we are coming up to the Summatius Beach, and there are a few people out. It's just coming up to 11 o'clock in the morning. It's February the 6th, 2020, 2021, and yeah, there's a few people look as though they're even getting ready to go in the sea to do some paddle boarding, and there's quite a few yachts out there. You can see the mist on the hills though. Here's the Santa Lucia Hotel. We've actually walked around to get here. There was a quicker way to get here, but we've walked around to get to it. Now I'm going to walk around the headland and enjoy the views. The sun is trying to get through. Temperature's really quite pleasant, probably approaching 20 degrees, a little bit below maybe, but just perfect for a walk along the promenade. Sea is much calmer today than it has been in recent weeks. We've had some incredible storms and some amazing waves, and the surfers have been out. Today it's the paddle boarders who are going out. It's the Santa Lucia. So for the winter time, everything's been taken inside, and they'll be wondering when they're going to be able to open for the new season. It's going to be a strange season that comes up. Here's the next beach along. Yes, there's a few people on there, and there'll be people along playing volleyball. It's always a popular beach for the volleyball. Many of the beaches that we've visited over the past 2 or 3 weeks have been covered in seaweed due to the storms. Here in Parmanova they seem to have not had the seaweed washed up. So the beach is looking in really good condition. Here's the Barbuda Beach. Closed at the moment, but sure they're going to be opening up for the season, whenever that may be. But, hopefully by the summer we'll be able to come here, have a steak, and hopefully Andrew will be able to come and join us. We'll think about Paul and drink a toast to him. We usually walk in the opposite direction to start with, and so it does seem a little bit strange. We're seeing a different view walking in this direction. Here's the hotel. Next hotel closed up. This is the Kala Blanca, part of the Melia group. Throughout the pandemic, the parks for the children have been opened, been closed, been opened and closed, and even now some are open, some are closed. This is one of the parks we bring our grandchildren to, and they play on the swings and the slides, and they do their climbing. It's open again so the children can enjoy it. We're actually going to walk off to the right, but before we do that, I'm just going to have a little bit of a walk to the left here. Someone asked me about the Barbuda bar, and is it still there? So we just come round to the back of the the Kala Blanca, to have a look for the Barbuda, and there it is. Not open at the moment, but wouldn't expect it to be open. Pubs and bars are not open because of the pandemic, unless they're just doing takeaways. But there you go, it's still there. The chairs are outside, ready for when it can open again. Just across the road, we've got a lot more of the pubs, bars. The tobacco is always open. It's one of the things that is allowed to open, even in the worst of the pandemic. It's an essential service to provide tobacco. The road where we saw the roadworks earlier on, that's where it comes out. It's just a short walk down from the Mimosa, and then if you walk past the Bora Bora and the Kala Blanca, you're at the Santa Lucia Hotel. A new Italian restaurant's going to be opening there soon. See, the roads have been resurfaced here too. They've been ready for the new season as we walk through Parmanova. There's quite a lot of people on this beach. Some of them doing their morning exercises, some playing volleyball, some actually on the water. Sun's trying hard to get through. So we've seen the paddle boarders, and you can see a group of jet skiers out there about to enjoy the calm waters that we have. Lots of volleyballers out, very popular beach for volleyball players. Most of the shops are closed, but all the essential ones will be open. So the pharmacy is open there. We'll find the supermarkets are open. And one or two of the bars and cafes open for takeaways. Just going up to McDonald's. We're going to walk around the headland. We usually do this in the opposite direction, so the view's going to look a little bit different.
De teléfono no me la ha dado.
Seems to have been a bit of damage done here by the storm. Hopefully that will get repaired before the season starts. Sometimes this is where the boats come, so people can go on the glass bottom boat or one of the tourist boats that takes you around to different parts of the island. The sea seems to be getting a little bit more choppy here. Maybe we're just a little bit more exposed. Still not the normal rough sea that we've been seeing over the last few weeks, but there are some waves here. Looks like the jet skiers are beginning to take off. Paddle boarders enjoying the calm. As we come round to the next beach in Palmanova. This is usually the first beach that we come to. Today it's the third.
Vale.
this point in our walk we would normally be going across the road here to the beehive, Colmena, and we'd be sitting and having a coffee or a beer. Hopefully that'll change soon and we'll be able to do that, but not today. It's one of the bars where you can get a takeaway, and thankfully there's some seating here, so you can actually just sit on the seawall with your takeaway. I hope you've enjoyed our views of Parmanova today. A little bit different walk than normal, but if you liked it, then please share it with your friends, spread it around, let everybody have a look at Parmanova. It's February, it's 2021, we've got this pandemic, but it's still a beautiful place, and I hope you can all visit us soon. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.